Okay, I'm going to dive straight into it today because I am probably beyond fed up of feeling this from my audience, the people that I speak to in business. Can we all just admit something for a second, right? Half of the reason people feel stuck in their business, it's not because they're lazy or they're incapable or they're not good enough or they don't know enough. It's because their brain sounds like a bloody group chat with 47 people talking at once. Like, honestly, one coach says you need high ticket, another says low ticket scalable offers, another one's screaming post 3 reels a day, somebody else on the internet is telling you like soft feminine selling, then there's a podcast telling you to heal your nervous system, a business mentor telling you to work harder, a millionaire on a podcast waking up at 4 a.m. to sit in an ice bath with a torch strapped to his fucking forehead, right? And meanwhile, you're sat there with the kids hanging off your tits, with your husband shouting when, what's for tea, your mum ringing you up every 2 minutes because she's lost her car keys, while trying to post a fucking carousel. Like, you're trying to do all of these things in the life that you have, that you live, but you're trying to do all of these things that everybody else is advising you to do that works well for them in their business. And I need you to hear this properly from me today before we go any further. If that's you, if you've got all of these things going off, if you are feeling so overwhelmed and don't know what to do next and what move to make next, you haven't messed your business up. If you're sat there feeling like you're incapable or you're not good enough or you can't do it, you haven't failed. I know some of you listening feel like you've lost the plot a bit, like your business used to feel excited, or you were excited about starting your business and now it feels heavy, or now you feel confused, or you feel like you're forcing yourself to show up in the morning, to open your phone, to open your laptop, to do the things that you once thought was going to be fun or exciting. And because it feels hard, your brain instantly goes into, right, something must be wrong. I fucked it up. I can't do this. So what do? We do things like we rebuild. We burn it all down to the ground. We rebrand. We go back to work. We buy another course. We change our niche. We change our offers. We rewrite our Instagram bio for the 12th time this week. We burn the whole thing to the ground in 3 fucking business days, right? But most of the time, you don't actually need a new business. You don't actually need to do any of those things. You just need to take a step back. You need to create some space. I guarantee if you're feeling like this, taking a moment, whether it's an hour, half a day, even a week, to just quieten your brain, have nothing external pulling at you, it will make a world of difference. Because overloaded brains cannot hear their intuition. And this is the bit that nobody in business is talking about. When your brain is full of everybody else's opinions, you genuinely stop knowing what you think yourself. And that's why even the tiny decisions feel huge for you. Even the tiny moves or potential moves in your business, you immediately feel like you haven't got enough time. Should I launch this? Should I change my price? Should I post this? Should I start a podcast? Should I use should I use LinkedIn? Should I use another platform? Should I breathe today? Or is there a strategy for that too? And without saying the cliche, sentence of you don't need another strategy, but you don't need another strategy. And eventually you become really disconnected from your business or you become burnt out because you're plowing away, you're not connected anymore. You're doing it for the sake of doing it. You're doing it because you daren't stop just in case you lose momentum or you lose money. And none of that is because you're bad at it. It's just because there's no room left and there's no capacity left. There's no room in your energetic space to actually hear yourself anymore. I think a lot of women have accidentally trained themselves to outsource their self-trust. And listen, I get it, right? Because business online now feels like, one big, giant, never-ending stream of opinions. And it is, because we're all building our businesses our way, right? And we all have our own opinions on, what works and what doesn't work. And everywhere you look, here's what works. Here's the secret. Here's the exact formula. Do this and your business will fail. Do that and your business will succeed. It's relentless. And slowly, without even realising it, you stop making your own decisions because they don't feel right to you anymore. You start making them based on other people's opinions, and you stop making decisions because they feel right. You start making decisions because they feel safe. Safe because somebody else approved them. Safe because somebody else online said it worked. Safe because enough people are doing it now, so surely that must be the answer. That's the evidence. The evidence is external. But the issue with that is you can build a business that looks incredible on paper and secretly friggin' hate running it. I've done it. I've been there in the past. My clients have done it. Probably half the bloody internet have done it. And this is what I'm finding when I'm having the conversations, when I'm meeting people at networking events, when I'm in the middle of a 21-day reset at the moment. And the amount of conversations that are happening there, and the amount of feedback that I'm getting in there of people that are feeling this exact way. In businesses, they technically should be grateful for, while secretly fantasizing about deleting Instagram, and moving to a farm, or moving in the middle of the woods and, becoming a recluse, a complete and utter recluse. And there's also another thing that I want to touch upon in this podcast. It's this obsession with doing it right, and it's honestly killing people's creativity. I've just had a conversation this afternoon with a new client who's going to be onboarding with me shortly as a one-to-one. And they said to me, I'm looking for a coach that can tell me how to do it right. And I immediately shut them down. And obviously we had an hour's phone call, and we went back and forth. And obviously they pretty much realised after the conversation with me that there was no right way, right? The right way was their way. So allowing myself to teach them how to understand that, and them allowing me to explain that to them, obviously, worked wonders, because they're about to onboard with me and I've got myself a new client, which is just, again, it's just another indication that my work is so important, and what I do and the way that I coach people in business, the fact that I coach the whole human being, and find out more about you so that you can bring your own strategies out, or you use the strategies that are based on your own way of working and your lifestyle and your personality and what you love and what you enjoy and your own goals. Like, the perfect strategy exists, the perfect niche, the perfect content strategy, the perfect launch, the perfect sales or marketing strategy. They don't exist. Not your perfect strategy might not be my perfect strategy, and vice versa. There's this invisible gold star that everybody's chasing on the internet, and people spend years trying to crack a code that doesn't even fucking exist, instead of actually listening to themselves. And the women that I know that are making the most amount of money and having the biggest amount of impact in their business and feeling the most fulfilled in their business are the women that are enjoying their business the most. You hear me, go on about this all of the time. The fact that I feel like I'm fucking about my friends all day. Us that are building our businesses that way, we're usually the ones doing things against the grain. We're unruled. We're doing things in ways that people told us not to do, right? We launch before we feel ready. We post random thoughts that can go viral or go really big. Without no expectations, without no strategy intention, or we build offers around what actually suits our personality and how we like to communicate and show up and execute in our life and business. We trust our timing, we follow our energy, we leave space for ourselves, and we rest without having to announce to the internet or to the world that we need to take a social media break for our mental health, etc. And there's nothing wrong with that neither, before you go in on me with that. And I think that that's what alignment actually is, right? So some people might refer to it as the meditation and candles and pretending everything's all high vibe and floating around and flow and all of that sort of stuff. And we love all of that thing. I'm here for all of those things as well. But that true alignment is business that actually matches you. Everything feeling as easy as breathing. That's what alignment truly is. And I honestly think that most people do not understand that it's not the strategy that they need. That they need that space, that clarity, that less pressure, less comparison, less consumption. Because to get clear and clarity itself is incredibly hard to access when your nervous system is overstimulated and your brain is trying to fight 900 bloody opinions that aren't even yours. So if your business feels a bit messy right now, or a bit hard, or a bit overwhelming, here's what I'd actually recommend you to do. Number one, do a complete and utter brain dump. Get everything out that's not yours, that's not serving you, that doesn't belong to you. Every single thing that you think you should be doing, every task, every pressure, every expectation, get it out of your head. Then what I want you to do is I want you to look at where the noise is coming from. So whose content makes you spiral and triggers you? Who makes you question yourself? Who makes you feel like you're behind? And I want you to be ruthless with this as well. Like, mute them, unfollow them, take a break, unsubscribe from their email list. And these are not bad people. This is not me saying, okay, these are horrible people, they shouldn't be telling you these things. What they're saying is aligned for so many people, right? What they're saying for you is not right. Your brain needs room to hear yourself again. So we need to get rid of the noise that you're listening to and consuming from the outside. And if I am one of those people, unfollow, unsubscribe, get me out of your ears. I honestly, truly, take that on board. I know that I am not for everybody, and you may have found my podcast and think, oh, I want to know a bit more about energetics, or I want to know a bit more about business, or I want to listen to what Danielle's about. But actually, I might have triggered the hell out of you listening to my podcast so far. I may have triggered the hell out of you and make you question yourself. Bear in mind, the type of stuff that I educate you on is yourself. But if I'm triggering you to a point that it just doesn't feel right or aligned for you, then I want you to unfollow me and unsubscribe from my email list or my podcast, whatever you're on. And notice as well if it's just getting you to question yourself in a way that is, okay, this is a different way of looking at it. Okay, this makes sense for me. Because there's a difference between getting you to question yourself and questioning everything that you're doing. As in oh no, I'm wrong. I don't want to make you feel like that. And then finally what I want you to do is I want you to make one decision completely on your own. No polling your audience, no asking your coach, no asking your mastermind peers, no what would you do if X, Y, and Z, or if you were me. I just want you to feel into what's right for you, because this is how we really start to build that self-trust. And that builds in moments like this when we decide something, when we hear ourselves, when we decide and we move and it actually works for us. Not when everything's guaranteed, not when we know for definite that's going to work if we move this way. Not when somebody holds your hand through every fucking move, but when you back yourself. Most powerful businesses are built by women who trust themselves. Women who know how to hear their own voice in a noisy world. Women who stop trying to build businesses that look right and start building businesses that feel right. And honestly, that's where for me, it's where the magic is. Momentum comes back, business becomes fun again, and flows. Okay, so if this episode hit something for you, like it hit a nerve and it's made you go, okay, or if you followed the steps, I want you to come back to me, and I would love for you to share it with me on Instagram. So tag me at the Danielle Hobson on Instagram so I can chat to you about it. And if you're currently in that messy, overloaded, overthinking spiral, this is exactly the kind of work that we do inside of the Aligned Business School, which is and in there we do monthly coaching, and you've got 4 courses to access in there, as well as the community of amazing women. We're not teaching you to become another version of a business owner that already exists in the world. We're helping you to come back to yourself.